everyone, Crystal Shawanda here to talk about my album Churchhouse Blues, one track at a time. In case you missed it, what I'm doing is I'm going through my album one track at a time, and I'm talking about stories from behind the scenes. And this track that I'm going to be talking about today is the last track on the album, which means the Churchhouse Blues album vlog series will be officially over. So I just want to thank you all so much for watching these vlogs. I really appreciate it. I've had a lot of fun doing them, so I've decided that after this vlog series is over, I'm going to continue vlogging, and I'm just going to talk about different subjects, whatever pops into my head. And you guys can drop a comment below if there's something you've always wondered about or something you would like me to vlog about, and I'll definitely consider it. So anyways, let's get this show on the road. This is track number 10, New Orleans is Sinking. So for those of you that are not familiar with this song is actually a cover from the very iconic Canadian band, the Tragically Hip. You know, they're actually a rock band. So it was, some people were a little surprised when I decided to cover this song on my 4th blues album. But for me, I guess I kind of wanted to prove a point, that it's like the great Willie Dixon said, blues is the roots and everything else is the fruits. And by that he meant that in every genre of music that exists, that has come after blues, the blues lives inside all of that music, whether people realize it or not. So I grew up on the Tragically Hip. As a born and raised Canadian, I have often said that the Tragically Hip was the soundtrack to my misspent youth. The Tragically Hip is one of those things that most Canadians can agree on. Most Canadians, the smart ones. I remember hearing this particular song, and every time this song came on, I always remember thinking, someday I'm going to do this song, and I'm going to exaggerate all those bluesy undertones that are already there. So I brought the idea to my producer, Dwayne Strobel, about what I always wanted to do, and he loved the idea and totally ran with it. And so we came up and worked up our own version of this song. And we went into the studio with some very talented musicians, and we actually didn't show them the original version because we didn't want them to ape the Tragically Hip's version. We wanted them to take it to a whole new place with us. And so what we did was, instead of playing them the song, we actually sat down, Dwayne sat down with the guitar and I sang it and we played it for them.
On bass we had Dave Rowe, who we've known since our days of playing for Tips down on Broadway. He's played for everybody from Johnny Cash to Dwight Yoakam, from CeeLo Green to Yola, and we've been working with him in the studio for over 10 years. On drums we had Lewis Winfield, who again our friendship dates back to our days of playing at Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. He would come in and listen to us play, and one day we got him to get up and jam out with us, and we just clicked. So after I signed my first record deal and we went on the road, he came with us, and we experienced a lot of firsts together out on the road, playing stadiums, arenas, massive tours, and every music festival across Canada and America that you could possibly think of. We did a lot of growing up together out on the road, and these days he doesn't go on the road with us anymore, and that's just because he's been working on some really cool, awesome solo projects. And we're just so excited to watch him bloom as the multi-dimensional musician and artist that he truly is. But anytime we can get him back in the studio to jam out with us, we're always happy to. We always do have a lot of fun catching up, and we have a lot of laughs. We're just like a bunch of kids just goofing around and having a good time. On guitar, we had Dwayne Strobel, who is the producer of this album. He's my guitar player, my husband, and the father of our little girl. We actually met at Tootsie's and fell in love on that stage. And thankfully, we're still together 18 years later, making music together. On harmonica, we had Stephen Hanner, who, again, we met at Tootsie's. He used to come in with his mom when he was just a little kid and asked to sit in with the band. So in a way, I've watched him grow up. Well, I did watch him grow up. And he's still playing in Nashville with many bands, on many stages, and in many studios. And we were happy to have him on this record.
So I've known this group of musicians longer than I've known any other musician in Nashville. So like I said, you know, Dave watched me grow up. I watched Steven grow up. Me and Luz grew up together, and D. Wayne helped me grow up.
He said, hey, no!
And so we started playing the song, and immediately there was just magic in the air. And by the end of the song, we knew that we had it. And we knew that that was the take. And we were so confident, in fact, that we did not record any other takes. We recorded one take, and we said, this is the one. And Steven was not actually there when we tracked. He came in about an hour later to lay his part down. And so he started playing, and again, his first take was just magic. He felt that vibe, he felt that wave that we were riding, and he jumped on it with us. And we loved the way it turned out. Oh yes, and the song was mixed and engineered by Ross Collier. This was our first time working with Ross, and he did such an awesome job. And we had such a great time, so many good vibes, and we hope we get to work with him in the near future again. He also mixed the song When It Comes to Love. And so like I said, we think he did an awesome job, and we hope to work with him again in the future very soon. We even did a music video for this song.
We filmed it in Nashville in Printer's Alley, right in front of Bourbon Street Blues and Boogie Bar, because it has this whole New Orleans vibe. Also because for the past few years, I've been playing at Bourbon Street on and off, whenever we're off the road, so I can kind of keep my chops up. And that's where we met Gil Gann, who's our good friend now and a wonderful blues musician. Usually he plays the early shift and we play the late night shift, but he'll usually stick around and get up to sing one with me. So I was really excited that he agreed to star in my video. The COVID numbers were still pretty high at this time, so we didn't feel safe getting together with a crew. So I said, let's just take our 2 iPhones and shoot some footage and see what we come up with. Thankfully, we loved everything that we got, and it turned out awesome.
While we were there shooting the video, another Nashville character showed up. His name is Downtown Fred. I don't actually know Fred's last name.
Fred used to come into Tootsie's when we were still playing down there for tips. He'd come in, do a little dance, point to the tip jug, and try to get tourists to tip the bands. And then fast forward, all these years later, we're playing at Bourbon Street, and who comes prancing in but Fred? And I was just glad to see that he was still dancing the streets of Nashville.
Downtown Fred is not actually playing the harmonica on the recording of this song, but we tried to make it look like he was. So, we had a great time. If you haven't seen the video yet, check it out. It's here on my YouTube channel. Just go to either my Churchhouse Blues playlist, or you can go to my favorites playlist, and the video is there. And if you like the video, give it the thumbs up and drop a comment below and let me know that you checked it out. Oh yes, I've also been doing some work with the Downey Wenjack Fund. I did some virtual shows with them, where I shared music, where they shared some of my songs. For those of you who are not familiar, the Downey Wenjack Fund was started by Gord Downey, who was the lead singer of the Tragically Hip.
Unfortunately, on October 17th, 2017, Gord Downey passed away.
And so before he passed away, shortly before, he had heard about the story about Charlie Wenjack, who was a little boy who was attending residential school in Canada. And he so desperately wanted to go home that he ran away and tried to make his way home through the freezing cold, and he ended up freezing to death. So when Gord had heard about the story about Charlie, he was so moved that he started to go on a personal quest and really raise awareness about Indigenous issues. And he used his platform in the last part of his life to make people aware and to know and to recognize the history of what had happened and how we are still dealing with it today. And so Gord Downie was inspirational in so many more ways than just music to me and to so many others.
And you can find out more at downiewenjack.ca.
So that was New Orleans is Sinking, and that's the end of the Churchhouse Blues album vlog series. Again, I want to thank you all so much for watching. As I mentioned in some of the earlier vlogs, you know, sometimes I repeat myself when I do these vlogs because I don't know if you guys are going to go back and watch all the other vlogs. You might watch one and be done. So sometimes I share information about the musicians and about the history of things. And that's the whole point of this, is I really want to feature and bring all these amazing, talented people who worked on this album up front and center, and feature them and thank them, and bring the spotlight to them. And so if you hear me repeat myself through these vlog series, that's why. Yes, I know I'm repeating myself. Also, please take the time to follow me on all my social medias. Like my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel here so you guys can keep up with everything else going on. And if you like this video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up and drop a comment below, because I'd love to hear from you guys. And I hope you're all staying safe out there. I hope you're all doing good. And oh yes, don't forget to buy the Churchhouse Blues album if you haven't already bought it. And follow me on Spotify and stream my album and add me to your playlist. It all really does make a difference. And share my videos on your Facebook pages. Tell your friends about me. Word of mouth does wonders for me. It truly does. So thank you guys so much again. I really do appreciate all your continued support. You guys take care and be safe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Peace out.